Commander Vextar's three hearts hammered in synchronized panic as another console exploded in a shower of sparks. The bridge of the Eternal Meridian tilted 15 degrees to starboard, emergency klaxons screaming their futile warnings into the chaos. Reactor containment at 12%. First Officer Krillnax shouted over the din, his chitinous fingers dancing across failing systems. We have maybe 10 minutes before total meltdown. The Valerian commander gripped his command throne, mandibles clicking in distress. In his 200 cycles of service, he'd never encountered anything like this. The cascade failure had started in engineering, a simple coolant leak, and spread like a virus through every critical system. Life support was failing. Engines were dead. And they were drifting toward a debris field that would shred their hull like paper. Send distress on all frequencies, Vextar ordered, though he knew the truth. They were 3 light-years from the nearest Galactic Coalition outpost. No one could reach them in time. Commander, we're receiving a response. Communications Officer Thelisa's antennae quivered with surprise. It's a human vessel. Vextar felt his blood chill. Humans. The galaxy's newest members, barely a century into faster-than-light travel. A feat that still baffled xenobiologists. They say they're 40 minutes out and are coming to assist, Thelisa continued. 40 minutes. Krillnax's voice cracked. We'll be debris in 10. Vextar made a decision that went against every instinct. Transmit full diagnostic data to them. Everything. The human voice that came through the comm was young, female, and impossibly calm. This is Captain Rebecca Martinez of the UESV Dauntless. We've reviewed your situation, Commander Vextar. We're going to get you out of this. Captain Martinez, Vextar said carefully, with respect, we have 8 minutes to containment breach. You cannot possibly. We're already moving, Martinez interrupted. Lieutenant Jackson, please explain the plan to our Valerian friends. Another voice, this one male with a strange accent. Commander, we need you to manually vent your portside fuel reserves on my mark. All of them. That's insane. Krillnax protested. We'll lose any chance of maneuvering. You don't have maneuvering now, Jackson replied. Trust us. Vextar looked at his crew. At the view screen showing the debris field growing closer. At the reactor temperature climbing into redline territory. He clicked his mandibles in resignation. Proceed. The next 6 minutes were the longest of Vextar's life. The humans talked his crew through a series of actions that violated every safety protocol in the Coalition handbook. Venting fuel. Shutting down backup systems. Redirecting emergency power away from life support. 30 seconds, Martinez's voice announced. We're coming in hot. Through the view screen, Vextar watched the human ship appear, and his mandibles gaped in shock. The Dauntless was moving at a speed that should have been impossible in this debris field, weaving between tumbling chunks of metal with centimeters to spare. It was piloting that bordered on suicidal. Firing grapples now. Jackson shouted. The Eternal Meridian shuddered as magnetic tethers locked onto her hull. Then the human ship's engines roared to life, and Vextar felt himself pressed backward with crushing force. They were being pulled, no, yanked, away from the debris field. Containment at 4%. Krillnax screamed. Matching airlocks, Martinez said. Boarding team, go. Before Vextar could process what was happening, his airlock exploded inward. Not breached, opened with shaped charges. Through the smoke came 4 humans in environmental suits, carrying equipment that looked like it had been assembled from spare parts and prayers. The lead human, a muscular man with dark skin and a name patch reading Chief Engineer Williams, pointed at 2 of his team. Rodriguez, Kim, reactor now. Move like you mean it. They moved. Vextar watched in astonishment as the human sprinted through his ship with a scanner in one hand and tools in the other, heading toward a reactor room that was, by all readings, about to turn into a miniature sun. Williams knelt beside Vextar's engineering console, his fingers flying across controls designed for Valerian anatomy. Your containment system is based on the Kresh 7 framework, right? Yes, but... Thought so. We use something similar for our fusion cores. Just scaled differently. Williams pulled out a device that looked like it had been built in someone's garage. This is going to look crazy, but I need you to trust me. 3 minutes later, Rodriguez's voice crackled over comms. Chief, we've got a problem. The containment emitters are completely fried. There's no way to. Rodriguez, Williams interrupted, his voice absolutely steady. Remember the Detroit incident? A pause. Then, Chief, that was a prototype, and it exploded. But it worked for 6 hours before it exploded. We only need 6 minutes. You're insane. Yep. Do it anyway. Vextar watched his reactor readings with disbelief. The temperature was dropping. Actually dropping. The containment field was stabilizing, held together by what appeared to be a jury-rigged network of human equipment literally duct-taped to Valerian technology. Containment at 20%, Krillnax whispered. 25. 30. On the view screen, both ships had cleared the debris field. The Dauntless was still pulling them, but the emergency was over. Captain Martinez appeared on the comm screen, her face smudged with grease, grinning. Told you we'd get you out of this, Commander. Vextar stared at the young human woman. Captain Martinez, what you just did, the speed, the precision, the improvised engineering, that should have been impossible. Martinez's grin widened. Commander, we're humans. Impossible just means we haven't done it yet. She paused. Also, you're buying the first round when we dock. Williams used his personal stash of coffee to seal one of your coolant lines, and he's going to be insufferable about it. 3 days later, safely docked at Coalition Station Gamma 7, Commander Vextar sat in a human establishment called a bar with Captain Martinez and her crew. He raised a glass of something Martinez called whiskey, which tasted like burning, and clicked his mandibles in the Valerian gesture of profound respect. To humanity, he said. Who see the impossible as merely inconvenient. The humans laughed, clinked their glasses against his, and Chief Williams leaned back with a satisfied sigh. You know what the secret is, Commander? Every species in the galaxy asks, why would we do that? Humans ask, why the hell not? Vextar drained his glass, feeling the burn, and decided that perhaps the galaxy was better off with these mad, impossible humans in it. Perhaps they all were.